and potentially dead infectious disease eliminated in the United States with vaccination.
What is the polio vaccine?
Correct!
I'll take coronavirus for 700.
The Daily Double! Should I take the coronavirus vaccine? Wait. Hold up. This is not a game. It's time for serious discussions. We have coronavirus vaccines, but not everyone is comfortable taking them. Here's the facts. Based on what has been proven about vaccines for other diseases, COVID-19 vaccine may help keep you from getting seriously ill, even if you do get the virus. Getting vaccinated also may protect people around, particularly those at greater risk for severe illness from COVID-19. We don't yet have all of the answers. Get informed, talk to your healthcare physician, and make the right decision for you. This is a message supported by the Washington State Department of Health.
This is Big Poppy, host of Jazz from the Cabinets. Join me each week for a listening tour of the first century of jazz, an eclectic mix of Dixieland, big band, cool jazz, bebop, contemporary jazz, world jazz, and all forms. That's Jazz from the Cabinets with Big Poppy on Rainier Avenue Radio, streaming worldwide on rainieravenueradio.world.
This is your Rainier Avenue Radio.world community update on the new City of Seattle Community Resource Hub, a one-stop online shop for city resources and information. Supported by the Seattle Department of Neighborhoods, the Community Resource Hub can be found at seattle.gov/resource-hub. It's an online portal of city resources, information, and tools to help community members connect and engage with city government and with each other. That is seattle.gov/resource-hub.
This is Monique Lee from the Afternoons with Monique show. I'm also the owner of Seattle Love Broker, a relationship consulting and matchmaking company. Tune in every Thursday afternoon at 1 p.m. to listen to intriguing, informative, and entertaining guests share stories of their past and vision for the future of our community.
Do you want to reach out to the Vietnamese community in Seattle? Just advertise in Người Việt Tây Bắc, that is Northwest Vietnamese News, the longest running Vietnamese language newspaper in our region. Go to nvnorthwest.com.
All I can do for my future is hold on. But we're here now, so the change is what I need. Together we'll build up equality ring. All right, I said together we can heal, build up equality ring. Do that again. I said, let's hear the bell of equality ring. Let's hear the bell of equality.
Welcome to Rainier Avenue Radio, your community radio station. As you can hear there in the background, they are just we are about to go live to the Columbia City Theater stage shortly. Bob Loveless and Friends beginning things in just a couple of minutes here, as you can hear some of the sound testing still wrapping up just a little bit right there, but we'll be going to them in just a little bit. But you are tuned into your community radio station, Rainier Avenue Radio. I'm Daniel Bellis here, otherwise known as D-Money, here from the Rainier Avenue Radio broadcast studio, also in the Columbia City Theater. In our broadcast studio. And also I'll be going live after this performance at 9 p.m. with Fresh Juice. It's a hip hop and R&B show. We have an in-studio guest, goes by the name of OG Mambo. So stay tuned for that at 9 p.m. after Bob Loveless and Friends perform on the Columbia City Theater stage. But we'll be going live to them in just a little bit as they finish up their preparations there on the stage. And thank you, Mark Laro. It does sound great, and I'm sure it'll sound even better when they do it for real. But Bob Loveless and Friends just wrapping up their preparations and sound checks. So we'll be going live there shortly to the stage on here on Rainier Avenue Radio. This is part of our Black History Month coverage this month. And we have a lot in store for the rest of this week. I'm just going to throw on a little flyer here for you real quick. As you can see there, tomorrow, a couple of things. You got a panel going on for Black Lash at 5 p.m. And then tomorrow night at 8 p.m., you will have a special old school music DJ party with special guest DJs going down at 8 p.m. And there will be DJ sets here from the Columbia City Theater tomorrow at 8 in that old school party, if you will, with DJ Fresh, Sergio LaCour, and more coming at you right there. DJ Darnell as well tomorrow at 8. And then we're going to wrap up Black History Month with a special Black Wall Street exhibit, and as well as a vendor fair. And Friday, it'll be the opening party, if you will, featuring authentic memorabilia from Tulsa's thriving Black Wall Street prior to the massacre, and accompanied with stories of the Black women who are an essential part of the business community. That will have several special guests. And then on Saturday from noon until 5, there will be the vendor fair, which means the doors of the Columbia City Theater will be open for you to attend. And you can experience the sights and sounds from the Columbia City Theater from noon until 5, an exhibit as well of Black Wall Street memorabilia, as well as a vendor fair so you can buy from local Black businesses. And that's from Saturday from noon until 5. And then here on Rainier Avenue Radio as well, a couple days later, we'll be doing some state basketball coverage, boys and girls, starting on March 2nd all the way through the 5th every day. The first round, the quarterfinals, the semifinals, and, of course, the championships. Boys will be at 7 p.m. and the girls will be at 9 p.m. All of that on Rainier Avenue Radio in the coming weeks. So, of course, Black Wall Street this Saturday, and, of course, the opening on Friday. You got the old school party tomorrow. That's at 8 p.m. And Black Lash is also tomorrow at 5 p.m. All right, y'all. We are still waiting on Bob Lovelace and Friends to begin their performance. So what we're going to go ahead and do is play some R&B jams for you as we await the performance to begin. So stay with us right here on Rainier Avenue Radio, your community radio station. Bob Lovelace and Friends hitting the Columbia City Theater stage shortly on Rainier Avenue Radio, your community radio station.
I had two choices and I couldn't do the second. So I'm not saying the God. I don't know how people do it.
To do it well.
Oh yeah, the radio comes out with focus.
Yeah, it's all about that.
That's what life gets weird. You're like, I know. You might have it on this down like this. What's that? Yeah, so these are the things we talk about. deal with my. After this, I'm gonna deal with my dominant situation. She's going on right now. Why he's like this coming to it is because like 14,000 years ago, unless you know what the Ukrainians looked like before, bro. I'm just letting you know, that teen over there, you have to forcefully make it. We're all brown, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah, that's enough.
I got to turn off the music.
You know that old lady that looks at you out of the corner? No. So instead of me sitting there, she's always going, hey, so, I said, well, there's some troops there in the border over there. I heard there's some bloodbath. And my man's like, aren't you supposed to have a dialogue? Talking to them, and then I keep saying, oh, I see you over by that. Well, yeah, that's granted old lady. She's by the garbage can. I mean, listen, I've never seen that as a play before.
She like the kind of lady who loves everybody's secrets.
Oh, your daughter's here. Dude, she's keeping everything. She's on me about it. Yeah. Hi. Are we talking to the ethereal world, or is it just us? Hey, so
that's Amish now too.
That whole you keep it honest and about the table. Right. So that's his playbook. Hold that, Robert. We're gonna get the army. This and this. So bad. Doing that in the room. Yes, it wasn't good. Then you get the they were getting rid of her here.
Almost did though.
Right. No, but I was just trying to say. No, they need to sign here.
After you finally stumble on the one thing that you're fucking awesome at.
That is the part where you're actually not good at some stuff. And it all just gets fun.
All right, 25 seconds.
All right.
45 seconds. Jake, you ready?
Yeah.
Always.
All right. Roger, you ready?
The first song is the conga, so make sure that the mic comes up for the conga.
Did you hear that?
For the bongos.
First song, bongos, and need the mic here. Not getting anything.
All right, 15 seconds.
15 seconds.
What camera? What camera?
There's one right up there.
All right.
That's going to be the main one.
Okay.
I'm going to be here with one too.
Okay.
But just if you're ever looking at a camera, look at
That
that one right up there.
All right.
And the others. Okay, you ready, Jake?
Yeah, I got it. Just adjust the mic real quick for bongos.
Let's go. We can start talking.
Yeah, you can start talking. Go for it.
Hold on now.
Good catch.
Like that.
Yeah.
He said, I don't want you to be in like that.
And welcome to Rainier Avenue Radio. This is Rick Dupree. We are live at the historic Columbia City Theater. And I tell you what, we have been celebrating Black History Month all month long. And, I've always said that, Black history is American history, and we should be celebrating it every day, 365. And we're bringing that to you right here on Rainier Avenue Radio. We are so pleased to be joined on stage here at the Columbia City Theater with Bob Lovelace and Friends. Bob, how you doing, man? Welcome to the Columbia City Theater.
I'm doing most excellent. Thank you for having me.
Man,
sure. Thank you for having me.
It is great to have you here. Talk real quickly now. You're gonna give us a number of songs, and in between, talk a little bit about those songs. But first of all, just talk a little bit, if you would, about how'd you get your start, man? What drew you to music, and how'd you get your start?
Oh, well, I mean, I started. I'm from a foster family, and they were Amish, and they started me in music by putting me on stage. And then after I got adopted, my mother, who's from the South, I was not allowed to not play an instrument.
Okay, so
and when I didn't want to play an instrument,
didn't matter.
Man, sometimes I would just be like, I don't want to play this, and like next thing you know, I'm at like a French horn lesson.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to play that, right? But I'm just sitting in this class.
Yeah.
So then I go back to piano. Like I would always she knew how to get me to go back to the ones that. Where she wanted me to go.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, that kind of started me into playing music. And then actually I started playing bass when I went to this guy on drums is John Ewing. And I went to his house. Yeah. And at the time I thought I was going to be Ace Frehley from Kiss. Like I really thought that's what was going on.
That was it.
But then I was informed to pick up this thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you can see my size now, but the bass was definitely bigger than me. It was like it was on his brother's dresser, so it was like this giant thing on this giant. Yeah. It was like, play this. And I'm like, oh.
That's it. All right.
I've been playing it ever since.
Yeah, a multi-instrumentalist. Yeah. Well, look, I'm going to turn it over to you and start jamming, and then we'll talk a little bit more about the band and introduce everyone. But right now, Bob Lovelace and Friends.
All right. We're gonna do this song called "Freedom" by Richie Havens, which he did at Woodstock in '69. And what's important about that is, so look up Jim Crow, because we're not going to go through all that. You can just read that. But we're at the end of the Jim Crow laws now, and the year before the Fair Housing Act started, which is kind of funny because it means that you can buy a house without being discriminated against. And already by this time, we've had some other anti-discrimination laws. But when I play this song, what really hits me about it is it's on the line of Jim Crow is here and Jim Crow is not here. So the song could be freedom, crying out for your freedom and how you feel, or it could be in the celebration of finally getting your freedom. But either way, he improvised it at Woodstock. So he was kind of a channel for that moment, So we're going to do this song by Richie Havens, "Freedom."
Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Such a long way from home. Freedom, 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 long way from home. Long way from home. Long way from home. I got a telephone in my bosom, and I can hold it from my heart. I got a telephone in my bosom, and I can hold it from my heart. I said, brother, oh come on, brother, brother, oh brother, oh father, oh father, oh father. Oh, mother, say brother, oh mother, oh mother, oh mother, I said sister, oh sister, sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Such a long way, long way from home, long way from home.
Right? So now we're just talking about like freedom, and the state of being free. But it's kind of like there's the old freedom and there's the freedom we know now, being thinking people. Before it was about being encaptured and just being free. But like as Americans, we know it's about the freedom to exist in the state that you should be by created of the universe. And all are created equal under that. And in that, we will find freedom to relate to each other and for growth. And like, you know, and I kind of feel as a Black American, at one point, and even in this last trial, you know, we get called subhuman, and we get called like some really interesting things. But in it, we're just people. Everyone's just people, and we're all just looking to exist. And that's just really what it is. And that's what we have to make sure is that everyone has the freedom to exist.
Hey, Bob, real quick, can you talk about how music transcends? Yeah, coming out of nowhere. The voice from nowhere. But no, talk about how music transcends color, race, all of that stuff, and has a way to bring people together.
Well, one, music's, right? So already, if it's a language, it has nothing to do with anything. It has to do with communication, you know? And as far back as you can go, it's a language. And then when you see it not technically done, it's just emotion emitted of feeling that's done, that another can feel while one does it. You know, that's when it's without purpose. Like at one point, I wanted to I was like looking for the oldest like percussion drum beat. You know, I was like, I'm gonna find this ancient beat, man. When I find this ancient beat, it's gonna be. And then I found out there is no ancient beat because percussion was on everybody's limbs. See what I'm saying? So the oldest thing is someone already dancing. So that's already not just rhythm for yourself. That's shared, right? So now the oldest rhythms you're finding is rhythms that people did while they were dancing with each other, right? Yeah. That's what music is. Music just is the ability to share the feeling and moment, and it's about the happy moments because it's easy to share sadness. It's better to make others happy.
Well said. Well said. We're live at the Columbia City Theater. Bob Lovelace and Friends.
Hi.
We're doing the good times.
So this one is this song is Good Times. It has another name that it's known by, but it's by Sam Cooke. And like the importance of Sam Cooke. Sam Cooke is like the soul of rock and roll. Coming from where he came from, the gospel world, going and crossing over into rock and roll is like brings the forefront of everyone we know who R&B lead sings in rock and roll. His backup singer is Lou Rawls, which means like right already, if Lou Rawls sings behind you, that means you must be something else. But also, we have to once again look at these. Look at this Jim Crow law, right? So here's Sam Cooke at the top of the world doing a new thing, but because of segregation and what keeps it separate, he gets robbed, and because he goes to the front desk to tell someone, as a black man, he gets shot in his underwear. Now, in that same year, which is 1964, we get the second signing of another discrimination act, of which you'll find, which really is strange, is to look that before Jim Crow ends, are just this constant signing of acts of discrimination, which lets you know what the state of it was. But Sam Cooke also brings this certain feeling that as the same year this song comes out, we have the Greensboro lunch counter people who do a protest. It lasts, not only does it last overnight, but by the next day, they're joined by the NAACP. They're joined by the Christian Student Coalition, which makes the whole sit in and be and just exist as a protest, making much more movement. So we're gonna do this Sam Cooke in honor our man on this day.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Whoa, la da da, la da 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 da, all night long. La da 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 da, all night long. Come on and let the good times roll. We're gonna stay until we soothe our soul. If it takes all night long. Come on and let the good times roll. We're gonna stay until we soothe our soul. If it takes all night long. Clock on the wall says it's time to go. Evening sun is sinking low. I got my plans, I don't know about you. I'll tell you exactly what I plan to do. Get in the groove and let the good times roll. We're gonna stay until we soothe our soul. If it takes all night long. Come on and let the good times roll. We're gonna stay until we soothe our soul. If it takes all night long. It might be one or it might be three. Time don't mean that much to me. I haven't felt this good since I don't know when. And and I might not feel this way again. So come on and let the good times roll. We're gonna stay until we soothe our soul. If it takes all night long, yeah. All night, all night, all night, all night, all night, all night, all night long, all night, all night, all night, all night,
All night.
I said all night,
All night.
all night,
All night.
Come on and let the good times roll. We're gonna stay until we soothe our soul. If it takes all night long.
Right. So then you got to kind of think, since you have the Fair Housing Act, which before that there was the right to buy a house. Now you have the right to not be discriminated by sex, race, or color. So that's what kind of fight you're just up against, right? Because there's no real reason to fight somebody over their race, sex, or color. I mean, there's a lot of work went into this. A lot of times it gets brushed aside, and everybody that was a citizen, they get blamed for how the vote went. But just remember that at the same time, it's a full Congress, it's a full Supreme Court, and it's a full presidency. Just remember that, just as full as it is now.
Yeah, and the question is, are they really working for what's best for the people? It's interesting in this era you're talking about with Sam Cooke, and I want to talk about him in just a minute, but the Black Panthers came to rise, and one of the things that Huey P. Newton said, he said, Black power is giving power to people who don't have the power to make decisions for themselves, to empower themselves. And so, this was an era when you're looking to empower themselves. And Sam Cooke was somebody, a lot of people don't know this, was a guy who, he said, he went into publishing, I'm going to own my own music. He was before his time in a lot of ways. There's a really good documentary on him called Legend, and only about an hour long, but for people that, a lot of people don't know who Sam Cooke is. And his music, and his music is as relevant today as it was then.
All right. I mean, we just saw Mary J. Blige go out and rock a football stadium.
Yeah.
Sam Cooke.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Come on.
Where do you think that came from?
Yeah.
From the church to the.
Come on, that's it.
That's it.
Bob Lovelace, ladies and gentlemen.
What we got next? Oh, all right. This next song's by a man named Hank Ballard, and a lot of people don't know who Hank Ballard is. Okay, Hank Ballard wrote a song called The Twist that was covered by Chubby Checker. That's one thing he did. Hank Ballard also wrote a song called Let's Go that was covered by Jerry Garcia. I like to say Hank Ballard writes rock and roll songs for grown folk. But as we did this, as we played, one thing about America, Black history, and all of that together, and whatever, it comes down to the fact that we got New Orleans. And don't ask me why, but everything I just said is like that now should make sense. Like, it's such a special place. We can go through all the history and all. You can always go through the history and pay for anything. But New Orleans is such a special place that I think everyone should always go there and walk around and just feel the vibe. So I took a rock and roll Hank ballad tune and we tried to give it a little New Orleans little feel to it. So we're gonna do that for you.
Up on the hill, let's go, let's go, let's go. There's a thrill up on the hill. Let's go, let's go, let's go. There's a house, honey, way across town. People come from miles around. Put on your pretty party dress. Let's go see about this mess. That's it. Baby, let's get go way up on the hill. We're gonna have a whole lot of fun. Greet that rising sun. Oh, how long we gonna fall until we hear your mama call. That's it. Baby, let's get go way up on the hill. There's a thrill up on the hill. Let's go, let's go, let's go. There's a thrill up on the hill. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Yes, boy. Everybody gonna be there. My friends, your friends everywhere. Oh, the time is gonna be. Come on, pretty baby, let's go see. That's it. Baby, let's go way up on the hill. Let's go. There's a thrill up on the hill. Let's go, let's go, let's go. There's a thrill up on the hill. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Say that again. Let's go, let's go, let's go. One more time. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
All right. That was fun. This next one we're going to do, because Ronnie Spector is the true queen of rock. Because there wasn't a throne for her. And she existed on the earth, and everyone decided she gets the throne. So when I was thinking about Ronnie Spector, I was thinking about how in the Hispanic community, and it's in the black community, we all know this, it's like what's also not as bad, or what is just as bad as racism, is colorism. And what the difference between racism and colorism is when someone doesn't like you because of your race. Colorism, someone of your same race doesn't like you because of your color. So a lot of our Hispanic brothers and sisters go through life with people not understanding that they come through the whole spectrum too, from as dark and as light, and sometimes the colorism is affected by them. So, Black history is the history of all people, especially in America, of all people, of the color, of the dark color. So as I'm reading that about Ronnie Spector, I find out she's actually Black Cherokee and her dad's white Irish, which just makes it, I mean, Richie Havens is Montana, Native American, and Caribbean. So in the American peoples, there's a lot of that's why it's Black History Month, not African American Descendant Month or that. There's a lot of the black of the history doesn't just necessarily cover slave descendants. But we're gonna do this because Ronnie Spector's cool. And if you don't know who she is, then you gotta go Google something, right? If you can hear this, you need to go Google something, man. All right, here we go.
The night we met, I knew I needed you so. And if I had the chance, I'd never let you go. Cause what you say you love me will make you so damn proud of me. Will make them turn their heads every place we go. Be my little baby. Oh, be my darling. Be my little baby. Oh, 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 oh. I'll make you happy, baby. Just you wait and see. For every kiss you give me, I'll give you three. Oh, since the day I saw you, I've been waiting for you. You know I will adore you till eternity. Oh, won't you be my little baby? Oh, be my darling. Be my little baby. Oh, 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 be my little baby. Oh, be my darling. Be my little baby. Oh, 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 oh. Be my little baby. Oh, be my darling. Be my little baby. Oh, 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 oh.
All right. Oh yeah, forgot me.
We still rolling here?
Well, we have one more to go. So this last song, I wrote this one. So there's not much stuff to look up. I was watching, I think it was on the anniversary of Martin Luther King Day. I was watching everyone march and sing. And I just kind of felt like, if I'm going to be any form of American songwriter as a Black American, I should have a song that you can march to. I'm not saying that like everyone else needs this. I'm just sitting there feeling this like desire. So this is a song that I wrote for that. is a bell, and I heard it ringing, and I will follow the sound and see where it leads. So take my Though I have my past, it'll always be around to remind me. But all I can do for my future is hold on and believe. But we're here now, and so the changes that we need. And together we will develop equality ring. I said together we can heal, develop equality ring. I said let's heal the battle of equality ring. Let's heal the battle of equality. Thank you.
That's Bob Lovelace and Friends. We are live here at the Columbia City Theater. And Bob, real quick, we got about 4 or 5 minutes left. Talk about, and you gave us a little bit of taste of it there, that last song. If you had to describe your guys' style, your vibe, what is it? That's it. That is it. We just heard it right here.
Like I said, I have to write a bio, and it goes, I am Bob. That's it.
That's it. All right, well, a little bit more than that, because that certainly gave us a feel. Now, you got to introduce everybody real quickly.
All right. Chris Seals on keys right here.
Hello, thank you.
My man just swinging in like a superhero at the last minute. Good great. Captain Moore.
Yeah.
Captain Moore.
Oh, and let me tell you, I'm gonna show you something before we go on. I'm digging Kathy's vibe. I told her we got to see the shoes. I'm loving the shoes. Kathy is representing, baby. Okay, you just need to know she's bringing y'all up. Yeah. Okay. You know.
I'll think you know what I mean. I waited 30 years for this man to say anything.
Yeah. Okay.
The first thing he ever said in my life was, I like that. 30 years.
Oh man.
Hey, John Young.
All right.
Who's been on many of my musical jaunts.
Your musical jaunts.
Yes.
I've known Bob for a long time.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that's where he discovered the bass. Huh? It's bigger than him, huh?
We learned our instruments together.
Yeah. Well, Bob, you and I are about the same height, so okay, man. You know. So if our listeners want to hear your music, check you out, how can they get some Bob Lovelace and Friends?
Just look up Bob Lovelace and you'll find me.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. And talk about just again, we're celebrating Black History Month,
Yes.
but for you as a musician and for you all as a group, how important is it for you to represent, to make a statement with your music?
Well, I mean, if you just think about it, 55 years ago, us four couldn't have come through the same door to stand on the stage while you were standing there holding this, us all doing it.
Yeah.
Like, we couldn't do that. Those laws, which the legal parts passed are still precedent, so I'm kind of confused. But meaning those laws that we're still fighting for some reason today that have been passed already. Yeah, but we're here now because of that. We weren't able to be here. We weren't able to gather like this. There's different colors of the spectrum. There's different men, women. So to me, people have dreams. I'm talking about Eisenhower, Martin Luther King. All these people made these things. We're here to make the dream a reality.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
Want to end on this note. I am involved in a play, and Cab Calloway, the great Cab Calloway, made a statement. And in the play, he says, movie pictures are one thing, but on stage, we're jamming and jiving. He said, we all had something. We all did something, and we had a good time on stage. He said, but there was no segregation. No. Got up on stage, and like you said, the music and the love of music just brought us together, and there wasn't that segregation.
Yeah, that's why it was important not only just have a band play here, but it's really about equality. We were mad because we weren't allowed to feel equal. Since we know what it's like to not feel equal, we should be the ones protecting those who don't feel equal. Because there's no one else in this country that can honestly say they know what it's like. We have a job greater than just even ourselves.
Yeah.
We have to protect the equality in this country to make sure it exists for all those others.
That's Bob Lovelace and Friends.
Hi.
Hope you've enjoyed them here on Rainier Avenue Radio live at Columbia City Theater. And again, if you enjoy what you're listening to, make sure to go to Venmo and at Rainier Avenue Radio and make a donation so we can keep this going on. Until next time, hope you're enjoying all of the Black History programming that we're bringing you here this month. And like I said, Black History is 365, not just 28 days in February. I'm Rick Dupree for Rainier Avenue Radio. Peace and God bless.
Rainier